Hello, Rene. Got your brake booster you want me to test? Let's go over a few things. This fitting, this little screw fitting came out of here. This is a test port where you can hook up a vacuum gauge, and when you activate the booster, you'll see your vacuum gauge go down to 0. The more the booster is activated, the more it goes to closer it gets to 0. Here is the vacuum. I had some fittings that I put in here. Your check valve is there. And we've got our input and our output. Now then, what we're going to see on the gauges, first is vacuum. Both gauges are going to go up and read the same amount of vacuum as produced by my test machine, and also shows how well your booster diaphragm is working in here. And then as the booster is activated, this gauge is going to go to 0, and that gauge is the one that's tied into this hose right here that I said goes up to this little test fitting. So you guys can do that in the shop. Hook up a vacuum gauge and turn the car on and hit the brakes and watch the gauge go to 0. This gauge is going to stay constant. That just shows you've got a vacuum going to the unit. Over here on the hydraulic side, we've got the input. 2 gauges. Both gauges are tied together, so this gauge goes up, maxes out, and this gauge reads final input pressure as supplied by my machine. And over here we've got the output. Both gauges tied together. This one goes and reads max pressure here, and this reads the final output pressure. Now then, this booster is a 3.5 or 4-to-1 boost ratio. So when this hits 350, we're going to want 3 to 4 times that amount there, so that we'll be looking at least 1400. So it's not quite going to be 1400. It's going to be somewhere between 900 and 1200 psi output pressure. And then we will check for any leaks, and we will listen for the booster huffing and chuffing and show you what goes on. But so far, looks like this booster works. Everything at one time. Checking for leaks. No leaks here. And maybe you can hear the booster chuffing. Let's see if we can make it chuff again. There we go. Everything's okay. The input is dropping because I've got a leak on my fitting on the booster. I couldn't tighten this fitting up enough, but otherwise everything looks like it should work.